Rogers TV. You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of My River District, a show where we talk about Owen Sound, the businesses, and everything we love about the area. I am sitting down here today with Corry Lapointe, the director of the upcoming show at the historic Roxy Theatre by the Owen Sound Little Theatre, The Prom.
Yes. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
And I don't know your first name.
Oh, Viveca.
Oh, hi, Viveca.
Oh my goodness.
I should have checked that out before.
For anybody else watching, we booked this through another person who dealt with it all.
Although
so
I think I was told Viveca, but it's a little tiny brain.
That's okay. And it's also morning when we're recording this, so it's very easy to just how are you?
I'm good. Good. Yes.
Good. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for the opportunity.
No, of course.
I love talking about the prom.
Yes, and I've heard the spots on the radio for the upcoming show, and I think the messaging is so fabulous.
Yes.
So why don't you tell me a little bit how we got to the prom?
Well, I saw the movie on Netflix and didn't like it. Too star-studded, you know, and I with Nicole Kidman and Meryl Streep, and then on and on and on. So that I thought, in there's a story, a lovely love story, but it's camouflaged by all the stars or lost, and so passed on. And lo and behold, Drayton Entertainment did it a year later, a live production of The Prom. So I went to see it and I said, oh, there it is. There's the story. It's a heartwarming love story with a wonderful, wonderful message, you know, and no medium message is better than live theater, but not preachy message, not in your face message, you know, but through a story, and essentially a love story at its heart.
Absolutely, and I think it's such an important message, especially for the youth of today and stuff. I mean, Lord knows it would have not happened when I was in high school.
Absolutely not, nor me. No. And that's a whole lot of years before you, but yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, no, and it's nice to see these things like normalized. And for anybody who is unaware, it's about a same-sex couple going to the prom together, which actually, like, for a lot of high school students now, like, doesn't even seem like that big of an issue.
No, I have granddaughters who are in high school, and that isn't. They just see people as people.
Absolutely.
You know, the human is the human, the person is the person, and whatever is part of that person, that's all they see is the person. And I love that, and I've learned a lot through my granddaughters, and this story does that as well. You know,
absolutely.
Just says to us, what are you afraid of?
Yeah.
You know?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about the story itself without giving it all away?
Yeah, it has two parts to it. Inside this lovely story is a lot of comedy, mostly realized through 4 has-been Broadway stars. Their stars are not shining anymore, and they're getting panned and with anything they do, and they wanted to shine up those stars again. They're very narcissistic, self-serving people, and they wanted a cause, but a wee cause, a little cause that they think they could handle. So they find this story in small-town Indiana. A girl wants to go to the prom, the high school prom, and bring her girlfriend. And the peoples who've grown up with the prejudices and the ignorance and so on, good people, you know, about relationship between same-sex cousins, want to not let that happen, and they go through all kinds of devious ways to make sure that this girl cannot take her girlfriend, and I won't give out what that is. So they said, okay, this is easy, this is a piece of cake, let's go to Indiana and we'll have this cause and we'll put our name in the highlights again, and we can get back on Broadway where we belong. Well, lives changed. They change, their lives change when they see the human, the real person, and the cause and the effect, you know. And so do the lives of everyone, you know, because even the biases and prejudice towards wealthy, rich, narcissistic Broadway star people, you know, that too gets changed because they begin to see the human. And in in both, it's the vulnerabilities of both stories, and the peoples in both stories are exposed in such an honest way, and it's not sort of a big revolution or a big change in way of thinking or living. It's the way we do in real life. We get to know people, we get to understand better. I have a mantra that is, if you can't think your way into a new way of living, then live your way into a new way of thinking, so that we always keep our minds open and our hearts open to seeing life through others. And
I want that on a T-shirt. I think it's really lovely.
I have it on a T-shirt.
Perfect.
It's by a mentor of mine, Richard Rohr.
Okay.
And yeah.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I know that this kind of a play will resonate with like various kinds of communities,
Absolutely, yes.
whether it be student communities or adult communities and things like that, which is again, it is such a great message.
It is.
So how did you come about? I understand that you saw it on Netflix and hated it, but how does a play that you've seen become a play on the stage at the Roxy?
You believe in the story. The story is the script, right, told in the script with sung dialogue. I don't call them songs, I call them dialogue. That happens to be sung. It's still dialogue, right, and telling the story. And even the dance is telling the story through movement. So you just zero in on the story. You keep the story right at the center.
Right.
And keep all the cast members and crew, set builders, et cetera, focused on telling the story, with the heart of the story. And that's what you do. You trust the script, trust it, and keep that center all the time, and don't stray from it. And if you do that, if it's a good story, and this is, then you get to realize it on stage. Yeah.
So is it a partial musical then?
Oh, it's a full blown.
Oh, it is.
Oh, yes,
okay.
yes, song and dance, But again, I call it not song. It's
sure.
Dialogue.
It tells the story.
Yeah, it tells the story. Yes, a full out musical. We have our music director is Don Buchanan, who is well known all over Grey Bruce, Simcoe, Huron County as one of the finest jazz musicians, but he's also a great orchestrator and arranger. And so we have a hybrid of live and track. The track is the orchestrated big numbers, so we can fatten it all out and make the walls rattle in the Roxy. And then for the quieter ballads and so on, it's just his piano. So he's our music director, and Heather Hunter, someone brand new to Owen Sound Little Theatre Roxy, is our choreographer, and she too had she has the same understanding that we tell the story. It's not about the dance. It's not about it's the steps we make. It's as long as those steps are telling the story, and she so very cleverly wove choreographed movement into the story. Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love a good musical.
Yeah.
Not only because they're incredibly entertaining.
Yeah, they are.
Because the music itself starts to tell you the emotions that you should be feeling.
100%.
And so nothing is kind of lost in dialogue, right? You understand that this is now sad, even though the lyrics don't necessarily sound sad. Yeah. It is because of the music. So it's, I don't want to say like gives away the emotion.
No.
But it does.
Supports. Yes. It supports the right emotion at the time, at that moment in the story. What is happening in the story, whether that is somber or reflective or just great, joy, that, it reflects all of that and supports that, all of those, that myriad of emotions that occur in the prom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the process of becoming an actor in one of these productions. You yourself have done several plays as a director.
Yeah.
How do you get to the point where you start practicing the play?
Well, we hold auditions and we put out a public notice out there, and it was really important to me that all the teen roles are played by teen. So I advertised at all the schools, and a lot of kids came out and auditioned for it. So I was really pleased with that and was able to cast teenagers in the teenage roles. So people just come to the auditions if they're interested, and then we, over a period of 3 days or 3 nights really, we have them sing, have them read from the script, etc., and I have a sense of the character before I get there and what I'm looking for. And I like dry reads, not practice reads. And if I see just elements of the character that I have in my head within that person, then yeah, that's it. I've always said my best work is casting, and that's holding true to this day. And if you're lucky enough to be able to achieve a cast, that fits the role so well, then it's just about getting it staged, and
so that's what you've got, a great cast that you've assembled.
Great cast.
I cannot believe the amount of talented kids in this area.
Oh, so, and it's so great. I see young people who are just lost in society. We see it all over Owen Sound. Somehow something broke, and they're on the fringes. And then I go to rehearsal and I have these young people who have built a community, not on their phone, but face to face, flesh to flesh, coming out and participating in this communal effort. And if we could just do that with all the young people, in our city, oh my gosh, what a wonderful world it would be, and I feel saddened about that, delighted for the kids we do have. Whatever allowed them, whatever presented the opportunity for them to do so. And we've got kids from all walks of life on that stage, and there they are, And I think it's going to propel them into an adulthood, and an independence that's going to be, it's going to feel secure and okay, and not trouble-free, but going forward. And so I love that we have these kids. And then we have so many new faces, and that's the best thing we can do for community theater, is put new people on the stage. And we've got so many of them in the prom, and I think that's delightful for the audience. And some of our veterans are I almost said just in the ensemble, but the ensemble is really important.
Sure.
To support the whole ensemble. They are the show rather, because they too react. And they give us reactions and interplay and interactions and so on of a community. Because the community is very, very important in this story.
Wow.
And so, and some very seasonal people who said, yes, I'll be in the ensemble, and that strengthens the whole thing. So it's been a delightful way that that's come about, yeah.
That's phenomenal, and thank you so much. Can you tell everybody when the prom is out? And
yes, we open on the 14th.
Okay, of November.
Of November, so what is that, a week from tomorrow?
This will air in like a week or so.
Yeah.
It could be this week.
Yes, it could be this week. But it's the 14th that we open, and then we go through 14, 15, 16, then we pick it up again for the following week, and I think that week is Thursday, Friday, Saturday with a Sunday matinee.
Okay.
That takes us to the 24th, and then the following week we begin on Wednesday and close on the 30th. So 3 weeks within November, the latter parts of each week, we are on that stage, and
incredible.
Yeah.
And the Roxy, and I will be talking with Tiffany, the theater manager, in my next segment.
Yes.
They've just launched a new ticket portal.
Oh, so easy. Yes.
So good.
And if I can do it, anyone can do it, and I've done it.
That's amazing. Okay, Corry, with our last 1 minute,
yes.
Can you tell me why you as a local love it here?
Oh my gosh, I've been here forever. I wasn't born here, but I've been here since I was a child. There's a heart in this community, and when we watch each other's back. We take care of each other when it presents itself. We're not always aware of the needs, but boy, when we are, do we ever dig in and come to the front. And I think, I know with all the struggles and so going downtown, and we hear that in the news, and it saddens me, but I know at the heart, it's a joyful community. And I think if we can just positively express that out there, when I hear of the stories of people going downtown on a daily basis to help those who are living on the fringes, they're the heroes of the community, and our community is full of heroes. And that's why I love it here. it's a community that embraces you no matter what's going on in your life.
Well, thank you so much for that answer. It was beautiful. Here is your official Locals Love It Here badge of honor.
Okay.
So the prom out starting November 14th. You're going to want to go to, is it Owen Sound Roxy? We'll talk about that in the next segment.
Owen Sound Little Theatre, Roxy.
Excellent. So make sure you get your tickets now. The new operating system for that is very user-friendly, so I'm very, very excited to talk to Tiffany in our next segment all about that.
A catastrophic humanitarian crisis is unfolding in Lebanon. Children and families have been killed. Thousands of civilians have lost their homes, and it's estimated that more than 1 million people have been forced to flee. The 12-member agencies of the Humanitarian Coalition are providing life-saving relief, but more aid is urgently needed. You can help. Please donate today at together.ca. Your donation will be matched by the Government of Canada, the Humanitarian Coalition. Together, saving more lives.
There's a center back up front. There's a shot off a leg right in front of the net. Backhand shot, scores! Down the blue. Campbell's got some room. Campbell's got Barfoot with him. There's
what a shot!
What a shot! There you see him working his way in front, and he got it. When he got a stick on it, Zane Smith stayed with it, got the second shot on goal.
The goaltender stick and deflected up and out into the net.
It wasn't even a hard shot. He just sort of little.
RTV Sports Wrap every Wednesday as myself, Spencer Byers, and our esteemed panel talk about everything you need to know going on in football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and soccer as we joust about what's going on in sports, keeping you up to date on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to My River District. I'm now sitting down with Tiffany McMillin from the Roxy Theatre, and she is the new theatre manager.
Yeah, hi.
Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I actually found out that you were the theatre manager when we started the process of booking this.
Oh, okay, well, there you go.
Well, that's
surprise.
A good fit. Love that. So welcome. This is My River District, our beautiful stage, very not the same as a theatre stage.
No, it's a little bit smaller. Just a bit.
For those of you who don't know, if we were to turn the cameras around right now, you would also see 3 different sets.
Yeah.
Anyways, TV. So you have been a performer at the Roxy since basically you came to town.
Yeah, pretty shortly after.
Yeah. And you have such a love for it, obviously. I mean, any interaction we've ever had, you're very clearly passionate about theater, and now you get to be the theater manager.
Yeah, it's super exciting. And like you said, I've always had a passion for theater since I was like grade 4. And I just think, I don't know, I think theater is really important. I think it's great that we have it in the community, and I'm super excited that I'm now the theater manager and I get to just kind of dive in a little bit deeper and help with some of the programming.
Yeah, I mean, the Roxy Theater is like locally quite famous, and in the theater world, it is also very highly regarded.
Yeah.
So I think that's amazing. I mean, I've worked at city theaters, like in Toronto and Etobicoke and stuff, and they don't hold a candle. Yeah,
I am always very impressed with the level of quality of productions that we put on here at the Roxy Theatre and OSLT. And you're right, even compared to small theaters in Toronto and the surrounding areas, like we compete, so.
100%, absolutely. So the theater's been open for, I don't know, 1,000 years. Yeah. You guys have just transitioned to a new ticketing system. I don't know why this is so exciting for me. I get really nerdy about new technology, but I went through the process and I was like, that's nice.
Yeah. It really is a much smoother process. We're super excited that we switched. I know it was kind of a long time coming. They looked at doing it a few years back, and everybody's really excited that it's finally happened.
It was a process, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a big process.
Yeah.
And it was all hands on deck. And honestly, big shout out to my staff team because couldn't have done it without them.
Sure.
Everybody really pulled through and just made it a smooth transition. We haven't had a single complaint from our patrons, so that's good. Yeah, everybody's really loving it. It's just a much easier process, smoother process online, looks nicer. We're planning on redoing our marketing website as well, so that's coming up in the new year, and lots of exciting changes.
So you just really jumped in there.
We just jumped in, yeah.
You're like, cool, okay, we're gonna fix the back end, and then we're gonna fix the entire computer, and we're gonna rebuild the whole theater, and
Yeah, well, not quite. I mean, maybe someday down the road, retouching up some of the facade and that kind of stuff, maybe. But yeah, right now we're just focusing on the back end and the ticketing and trying to make that a smoother, easier process.
That's awesome. And I mean, when the initial back end like ticketing system was implemented, it was fine for then.
Yeah.
It's just technology, grows and changes and stuff like that. And sometimes you just have to make a hard and fast jump to something new.
Exactly. This is a much smoother. I mean, honestly, small things like now being able to renew your membership online. Seems like a really small thing, but our members are really excited about it. It just makes the process easier. It alleviates the box office a bit so that they can handle more customer calls about ticketing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to leave their house to renew a membership.
No. Yeah.
I don't even do that for Costco.
Exactly. So it makes things a lot smoother and a lot easier to get tickets to all of our wonderful shows.
Very cool. And you can pick and choose which seats you want and the whole bit. It's really, really good.
Awesome. Glad you tried it out.
So this is the prom is your first production that you're kind of overseeing as a theater manager.
Yeah.
We just spoke to Corry, who's wonderful and very knowledgeable, and I think you're very lucky to have a director who's so seasoned for you to be coming on. What does that look like from your position around performances? Like, what do you manage around the performances going on?
That's actually a great question, and honestly, 99% of what we do with OSLT is volunteer-based. Okay. All the credit goes to, I shouldn't say all, staff does work.
And hard.
Yeah, we do. But really, all of the creativity comes from our volunteers, the directors, the producers, the actors, the set builders, painters. I'm not going to keep going because I might forget somebody, but all the behind the scenes, it's all volunteer-based, which is really phenomenal. They just lean on us for administrative assistance.
Which is a big point of it.
Yeah,
that is a big part.
Yeah, and we do. We help more on the ticketing side of things and helping to secure sponsors, which I will take this chance to thank our season sponsors.
Nice.
Brand Realty, Benedict Electric, The Little Family, and Woodley Care Services. Honestly, without sponsorship, we don't do what we do. Without our volunteers, we don't do what we do, and without our staff, we don't do what we do. So it really is kind of a team effort all around.
I love that. Yeah, and I mean, it really becomes a community theater then.
Yeah.
Right, everybody's involved, and if you don't have to overcommit or anything like that. If you can do a small part, you can volunteer.
Absolutely, we have volunteers doing things. You can come usher for 1 or 2 shows a season, and that's it. And if that's how you can help out, we appreciate it.
Okay.
Some people go really crazy. They'll produce something, and then they'll act in the next show, and then they'll stage manage another show, and they're just like all hands on deck all the time. And they're all important. They're all equally important. We need every single one of them.
How does somebody become a volunteer?
Honestly, really easy. You can go onto our website, roxytheater.ca, click through to our ticketing site and purchase a membership. It's $20 plus tax. Lacey Mooney, our volunteer coordinator, she will then reach out to you, find out what you're interested in, and then get you connected with the appropriate team leads. So if you email and say, I just want to paint stuff, great, she'll get you in touch with the paint lead team lead, and go from there.
That's awesome. And Lacey Mooney is like a freaking gem.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's great. She also runs the Roxy Young Company and the Roxy Star Company. So,
what a perfect fit with the Young Company.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're very lucky to have her.
Yeah,
and she's incredibly talented as well.
Oh yeah, and she's one of these people who's also just on stage constantly, but also doing all of this work. So yeah, very impressive.
So you have the Young Company.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that a little bit?
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about that program.
Yep. So Young Company, growing, always growing. So. This season we've got Act 1 for junior and senior, Act 2 for junior and senior, Act 2 for senior. Nope, I lied, Act 2 for junior and senior. We've got workshops we offer. They do the summer camp, the March break camp. Then we've got the Roxy Star Company. They've also got workshops throughout the year, and then they do their end of season performance in June.
It's wild. And how does a kid become part of that? How old do you have to be? What are the kind of the details?
The age range is usually anywhere from 12 up to 18, or just before you hit 18, because then you're an adult. How you can become a part. So we do registration. So registration for Act 2 actually just opened.
Oh, perfect.
So same thing. You can go on to roxytheater.ca, see what's coming up for like the youth program, sign up that way and register. Some people like to get started with the camps. It's kind of a good way to like just dip your toe in.
Sure.
So in July we do 1-week camp sessions, and then in August we do a 2-week senior camp.
Yeah, I'm pretty mad about the fact that I'm too old for it.
I know, it's a really fun camp.
How rude. Honestly, I'd totally sign up and be like, let's do this.
Although that said, we are looking into new workshop opportunities for adults.
Yes.
Yep. So, that's all stuff just being talked about and things we're looking forward to doing in the future. But
Awesome. So we don't have much time left, but I have one more question to you. How do you become a sponsor?
How do you become a sponsor? Great question. You can reach out to me directly. It's Tiffany M at roxytheatre.ca. You can reach out to our box office at roxytheatre.ca. And you can just say, hey, I'd love to be a sponsor. If you see me on the street, stop me and say, I'd love
Hey, I'd like to give you some money.
At the Roxy Theatre, yeah. I generally will reach out to people that I know have been interested in the past, or I love to reach out to new sponsors to see if they're interested, or new companies. We love community involvement. So honestly, if you run into me or anybody that works at the Roxy, just shoot us a line and say, I'd love to be a sponsor. And
That's incredible. And where do we find you online?
You can find us on social, Roxy Theatre Owen Sound, roxytheatre.ca. You can call our box office, 519-371-2833. Really impressed I remembered that.
So really, really quickly, we've got about 1 minute left.
Yeah.
Why do you, as a local, love it here?
Oh, I moved here 4 years ago, and when we drove through town, one of the things that really caught my eye was the arts and culture. We are from Toronto, so for me, we wanted to sort of slow down our pace of life, live in a smaller town, but I didn't want too small because I wouldn't really be used to that.
Sure.
So one of the things I love about here is the arts and culture that we see between the theater, the art galleries, just the availability to take classes, to go be entertained. And honestly, when I drove by the theater, I said, I want to work there if I work somewhere in town. So I was really thrilled when I got a position there, and I love the community. I love the creativity that thrives here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that so much. And my producer's actually telling me that we went way too fast.
Oh.
So now we've got about 2 minutes left. Okay, so let's tell the audience who's watching. The prom opens November 14th.
Yep.
Head to roxytheatre.ca.
Yep.
Okay. To get your tickets. New system is awesome, so make sure you check that out. Yep. It's running for kind of like 3 days over 3 weeks or something like that, with a matinee in there somewhere.
Exactly.
Really important production, I think.
It really is. It tells a really great story. And like Corry said, it's really heartfelt.
Yep.
But it's also a musical, so it's fun and it's entertaining, and you're going to leave. I've already, so many of the songs were already stuck in my head just from hearing rehearsals.
Brushing your teeth.
Yeah, honestly, they're really catchy. They just get in there, and it's just a great message, so it's going to be a great show.
That's awesome. So again, starting November 14th, get your tickets now, roxytheatre.ca. On Instagram, you are?
The Roxy Theatre Owen Sound.
On Facebook, you are?
Roxy Theatre Owen Sound.
Love that.
Nice and easy.
And, I wanted to give you your Locals Love It Here badge of honor, because being in here for 4 years and being such a great community member in that 4 years, you've definitely earned it.
Oh, thank you.
So it's your badge of honor. I better see it the next time I see you walking around.
Yes, you will.
And I want to say really thank you for coming in and telling us and sharing that story about the Roxy, and the importance of volunteers and sponsorships, because it's a community theater.
It really is a community effort. And that's one of the things I love about the community, is that we are still here.
Right.
Because they want this.
Yes.
And we want this.
Absolutely.
That's part of the joy of performing. It's fun doing all of the work. It's even more fun when the community really loves it.
Oh, I love that so much. So thank you so much for coming out. The prom starts November 14th. Check it out, roxytheatre.ca, and we'll see you next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Hi there, my name is Tracy Hinchberger and I represent the Kincardine District Chamber of Commerce. I hope you will join us for our next segment of Chamber Chat on Rogers TV, a fascinating behind-the-scenes look at some of our member businesses. You'll learn more about local special events,